full of stone, and he was 5 feet under. But the other thing was
stone, not cement. You mean like loose stone?
Loose stone, but there was some mortar.
Okay.
See some mortar around the edges. But loose stone, when we took it, we got it under, there was a large foundation of stone. Big, long, stone serving as a foundation. And we said, wow, that's pretty good. It's, keeping this thing on such an angle. We removed that, and there was another foundation set of stones underneath that. And when we removed that, there was a third foundation. So this thing was extremely well built and set, and that's why it hasn't shifted at all in 200 years. It hasn't shifted at all on such a steep slope because it was so well constructed.
Was that why he was preserved more?
No, I think the preservation had to do with the soil itself. Very sandy. This is a very sandy soil up here, and almost beach sand. And as a result, the pH of the soil, the acidity was down. But, I also wanted to think that he was waiting for his family to bring him home. So he hung in there. But he was, we're best preserved skeleton today.
Were any of the clothes or any other thing remaining?
Nope, he was buried naked with a shroud.
Yeah.
And I know that because in a couple of areas, the bone had green stains on it. So in those days, straight pins were made in two pieces. You had the body of the pin and the head, which was usually copper or brass. And so what ended up happening was that all dissolved. But when
now you mean the pins from the coffin?
The pins from the shroud.
Oh, from the shroud.
When they wrapped them in the shroud, they used straight pins. The pins and the shroud all dissolved. It was gone. But where the head of the pin is, it was copper, and it leached into the bone. So we were able to determine exactly where the pins were based on the copper stain. So we know he was buried in a shroud, but without clothing. We never found evidence of buttons or anything like that. His coffin also, on the lid, had a glass to view his face, so that during the funeral process at the church, you didn't have to lift the coffin lid to view him. You could just see him through the glass.
And the glass remained.
And the glass remained. It was shattered. And it was probably in about 20 pieces. And we reconstructed that. And the glass and the heart shape of the coffin lid was brought back to Hawaii also. And that was placed in his new coffin and is buried with him today. He was also buried with some soil from here. I don't know if you know that, in Hawaii. It's also buried with soil from Cornwall. So yeah, it was an extraordinary 2 days. And I always say that when I was excavating and I was coming onto the face, I had a consciousness that I was going to be the first person to see his face in 175 years. The structure of the face.
Sure.
Well, very good, guys. Thanks for braving it.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you for being here and making this happen.
Our pleasure.
I do have a couple of, if I can pick your brain, Nick.
Safe journey home.
Well, that's it from
I know where I'm going with this.
Cornwall Cemetery.
Newport, Mary Dyer.
I know. And I said to Roger,
Right.